Tuesday. What's up, brother? Special people, special places. April the 16th is show 64 of Get Out of Rap TV. I hope you are all well. Had a week off last week. I was preparing for a visit to SSCL down in Newport. Had an awesome time. More of the same would be great, but it's good to be back. It's good to be back. Let's get cracking, shall we, with say hello in the comments and a hot debate. We're not going to do rugby versus football. We are going to do what is the best biscuit. Let's get to know each other and see each other's opinions on the hot topics. Who have we? Scott's here. Good morning, mate. How are you doing? Just while I let you all type on this, thank you to Evaluagent, DDC Outsourcing Solutions, and OneCom, my partners. Without them, I wouldn't be able to do this. Danny's here. Morning, all. Hope it was a great week off, Martin. I was still working. But it was just to give me some time to prep. Yeah. Katie's here. Good morning. Good morning, Katie. How are you? Okay, let's get going. Chris is kicking us off with whatever biscuit is nearest. Yes, I kind of agree. We have got Danny, chocolate hobnob. Next question. Keith, g'day, mate. Custard cream, end of poll. Hi, Neem. How are you doing? First time listener, long time fan. Oh, that's great. It's great to have you here. Everyone, please do connect. So, Aneem, you say chocolate hobnob. So we've got two for that. Marco, who I had a lovely time with last week. Great team down there. No biscuits for me on a diet. Well, I have looked longingly at the biscuit tin since October. I can still say what my favorite is, I think. Yes, Scott, shortbread. I mean, I like all of these. How to divide an audience, says Katie. Is a Jaffa cake a biscuit or a cake? I would say that's a biscuit, in my humble opinion. Don't think my fingers are awake yet. Terrible spellnig today. Come on, Danny, we rely on you. Alan is here. Good morning, sir. How you doing? If you notice people in the comments that their comments are not showing, I promise I'm not ignoring you. Just refresh LinkedIn. Maybe one of you can help me out by sharing a comment from someone who's it's not showing. Let's go back to Jaffa cakes. Controversial, I know. This is close. Hey, Mark, how you doing? Stroop waffles. We've got a curveball in here. Oh, it's a cake. We've started another tangent. Cake. The clue is in the name. Well, we have a split audience because I go biscuit as well. Great shout. Warmed up too on the old Stroop waffle, says Danny to Mark. Biscuits go hard when they are stale. Cakes go soft. But doesn't a Jaffa cake go hard on the outside? I really thought about that then. Kerry's here. G'day, Kerry. I don't know why I'm talking in an Australian accent. Jammy Dodgers. Oh, one of my girls, that's her favorite, a Jammy Dodger. I'm gonna go left field here. My favorite is anything ginger. Like what are they? Ginger snaps. I can murder a whole. If you had a gingerbread house at Christmas with gingerbread men, I create Armageddon. I can just destroy them all. Wait a minute. The sponge bit. Yeah, the sponge bit goes soft. Got it. Graham, good morning all. Not a big biscuit fan, to be honest, but if I had to choose, I would pick a Fox's chocolatey biscuit. Graham, you're a class above because that means you have to peel something off. 100% nothing worse than a hard Jaffa cake, says Alan. Lewis, good morning, mate. Chocolate hobnobs. They are probably just winning. Fit just right on top of the cup. Yum. The Stroopy waffles. What was it called? Yeah, Stroop waffles, Stroopy. Ah, g'day. This is why. Maybe I knew you were there, Luke, and I've been talking with an Australian twang. Uh, Toffee pops are pretty good though. Oh, we're getting some. We're getting some ones that I'm really tempted to check out. There was a court case to settle this, says Danny, as there's a VAT on biscuits but not on cakes. It was ruled Jaffa cake is a cake. Wow, every day is a school day. We could literally stop the show there and we've all learned something. Who am I to go against the court of the land? That's it. That's it. We've figured it out. Um, Katie says Tim Tams, Australian reference there, but now available in Waitrose, don't you know? Oh, lovely, Katie. We could check out an Aussie biscuit. Yes, Neris is here. Hobnob with a cuppa. Oh, very nice. Joe's here as well. Morning, mate. You must be very happy with the football. I logged on just as Martin said Stroopy waffles, not even going to ask. This morning has taken a turn already. Oh, look at that. Chocolate covered caramel hobnobs. Pete comes in with a home run there. Another vote for Tim Tams. Tim Tams, we're going to have to check them out. The Australian Tim Tam. You're going to have to describe it, Katie or Luke. What are we talking here? Is it chocolate? Is it not? What is it most like, or is it not like anything you'd see here? We are off to a flyer, and it's a lovely, lovely group of people here. Let me just get this up and running. Do keep your biscuit entries coming in. Wait a minute. Are you sure they sell them in Waitrose? Tim Tams just sounds like the name of one of the kids in there. Hello, my name's Tim Tam, and I'll be your server today. As Jaffa cakes have been negated, I will go fruit shortcakes, or if I'm feeling daring, a Garibaldi. I was wondering whether a Garibaldi would get a mention. So Luke says it's like a penguin, but 10 times better, like a penguin on steroids. Yes, they started 3 weeks ago, just milk, chocolate, and caramel. Oh, look. I chose the wrong get to know yourself get to know each other question, because I could very easily leave my healthy eating behind and just go and destroy the biscuit tin that's in there. Tim Tams are amazing. I ate loads in New Zealand. Didn't realize you could get them in the UK. Maybe because I don't shop in Waitrose. Darren is here. Morning. Dark chocolate digestive every time. Now that is a good shout, Darren. I do love dark chocolate for sure. Look, what is going on? Love a Tim Tam. Today's episode is brought to you by Tim Tams. So, very quickly before we get into the question of the day, you might have seen on LinkedIn the planner. It is something that is evolved from the team leader planner. It's still very much for team leaders, but this time it has, as well as daily planning, it has monthly reviews and coaching forms. And the most asked for bit is that the notes page had lined paper and a margin. So, you said I did, but I don't know if you can see that. That is the daily page. It's got everything people need. Now, when I went, Marco, you would have missed this bit, but when I was in SSCL, Marco had given me this great introduction. It was very lovely. So there's a room of about 20 team leaders, and I said, who has heard of or listened to Get Out a Rap? And maybe 2 or 3 people put their hands up. Suzanne, who's been on the podcast, didn't put her hand up. And so I said, oh, okay, some of you are in the team leader community. For those of you that have not, have you heard of it? And they hadn't. So I said, right, that's it, I'm going then. And then I said, I got some planners out, the old ones, and I said, who's got one of these? And near enough everybody there said, I got it, I love it. And it just made me laugh that not really anyone had heard of Get Out a Rap, but everyone had got the planner. Hi Rachel, how you doing? Where can I get that? It is if you go to a post I did yesterday. It is available on Amazon, and I've also done a digital PDF version that you can just download and print. But if you want the actual book itself, the link is on a post that I did yesterday. It's on Amazon and it is shipped worldwide, as far as I know. Um, Back to more important stuff. Tim Tams are like penguin penguin biscuits. Thank you, Keith. Uh, oh, thank you, Danny. That's very nice. Thank you, Rachel, as well. It's not really a money. It's just fuel. It kind of caters for me trying to be creative and to help team leaders out where I struggled with prioritization, because what you gain in help from Amazon, you absolutely lose in any profit. So it's not gonna see me retiring anytime soon. So the big question of the day is, I very much cut my teeth as in an outsourcer, as an agent, a team leader, and then a contact center manager, and it really did, for me anyway, in my opinion, sharpen my blade. But I am merely the facilitator of this debate. I would love to get your opinion on today's question of the day, which is, how do you see the outsourcing market evolving over the next few years? Um, with everything that goes on in our industry, and you can't have anything like this, a webinar, a medium, a webinar, a roundtable, or a conference without talking about AI. And we talked about that 2 weeks ago. And it did get me thinking about if I was still working in an outsourcer now, or in a more senior position as a in an outsourcer, I would be thinking about how this is going to impact our world and the world that we're in. But with all of your super brains out there, I would love to get your views on just how do you see the market evolving? What do you think? Are we going to see more? Are we going to see the same level of offshoring, onshoring? Will more back office functions go to outsourcers, or will we still see the same level and it will remain pretty much unchanged? But if we think about the outsourcers themselves, will they see a reduction in actual seats, but still offer the same level of expertise? Neris, the wonderful, wonderful legend that is Neris, is kicking us off. Oof, it is going to be super tough. 19 years in outsourcing, 6 different outsourcers. So love that world a lot. And there is no better grounding, but they have to adapt or suffer, sadly. And Neris, how do you think, what would be the first thing that you would suggest that they do to adapt? Um, Neem, sorry, says mergers, takeovers, and digitalization. So there'll be a kind of coming together of outsourcers and acquisitions, but they will very much embrace the digital world. Is that your thinking there? Danny says with AI real time voice translation, offshoring becomes potentially simpler. You don't need to find English speaking advisors, which could vastly change the way we look for talent, especially as developing country costs are far lower. Um, yeah, you're often, as an outsourcer, you'd say, do you want to see people have a race to the bottom? It was very, very, like I say, it sharpened Neve. Thank you, Neve. Thank you. Um, in my opinion, outsourcing will continue. Hey, Shadav Dan, how are you, mate? We'll continue. However, those who will win are those ready to move from traditional method to digital. So, like Neve saying that there needs to be a shift, and you would like to think. I always thought that as an outsourcer company, and I worked in a couple, we had to stay ahead. We had to be creative, and that also meant utilizing technology and absolutely eking everything out of it we could, because we were constantly in a competitive world. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't think if you're a non-outsourcer, you don't have all of those traits, but, from my personal opinion, it definitely sharpened the blade. Luke, in Europe, the market will shift from agent intensive, what a great phrase, to automation and best practice CX. The shift from pay for time to pay for experience and outcomes. I love that. That is brilliant. From agent intensive to automation and best practice CX, a shift from pay for time to pay for experience and outcomes. Alan says, spent 10 years in an outsourcer, love the environment. However, if they do not focus on tech and people in equal measure, they will struggle. It's a bit early for philosophy, Neris. um, they have to focus on, Neris says, they have to focus on creating a coaching culture that focuses on empathetic first rate CX for the clients that need it. Very, very good point, because I think, one of the downsides of outsourcing is sometimes you did see that coaching was kind of pushed to one side, because it was all about production, and that, of course, came to bite you in the bum later on. Hugo has a view on that. He agrees. I think that Bark meant, "Hey, Spencer, how you doing? Outsourcing's future, like a boss. Think AI, VR, and maybe even customer service drones. It's a wild ride ahead." I love that look into the future, Spencer. Customer service drone, brilliant. Neris says digital interactions will be easily managed in house, so they will only be left with voice. Customers who want comfort are in crisis or clarity. Comfort, crisis, or clarity. That's brilliant. I think we'll see a 50% drop in numbers over the next 6 years. Yes, very, very, very kind of sad, but also I love this phraseology: comfort, comfort, crisis, or clarity. It's brilliant. Graham says it's all very Darwinian, isn't it? The race will be won by the most adaptable, as Neris said. Yeah, very true. Very Darwinian, Graham. So, uh, Keith, I believe the current comfort felt from AI being deployed to support agents could be short lived for the reasons stated by others. However, can AI offer an empathy to customers like people can? I think we need to start thinking about the skills agents need to make them stand out. Technical knowledge may not be the key skill it has been for years. Very true. And really interesting article, Keith, from you on LinkedIn. Was it yesterday? I would definitely recommend checking that out. Um, Peter, everything that's already happening now, but faster, faster. Special people. Neve says it's been harder for BPOs to move to digital as they often hook into their client systems. Yeah, good point. So some of the automation has been restricted to out of hours. I think this is changing though, as clients see the benefit of out of hours and are looking to adopt. Yeah, good point. Aman, hello, my friend. How are you? No problem. That we don't take a roll call. No detentions here. First day back at school, one of my girls got a detention. I am not one to talk about stuff like that, though. I stay well out of that conversation when behavior at school is brought up, because I would be a hypocrite if I said anything. Rachel says companies that are leaders will have the human agents instead of thinking AI will come save the day. Any AI is based on data knowledge base. Fix the process, keep it updated, and be human. Yes, we all must be human now more than ever. Oh, thanks, Keith. That's Keith's post and article. Was very interesting yesterday. Phew, you're lucky. You're not at all. I would be the most laid back teacher there is. So certainly a time of change, and if we kind of narrow into the outsourcing market. It seems like at some point we've all had exposure to it. Maybe we've used them, maybe we've worked in them. Um, and it will be fascinating to see because they do make up a large part of our industry. And I've always been impressed by, people like DDC, for example, their kind of commitment to their clients and how they push the boundaries and their clients benefit over and above just the actual activity they gain from their expertise. They get another source of ideas and ways of working, and it's, as you said, Luke, it's kind of that they're going to be paying for the expertise. But very interesting times ahead. Engage caps lock from Spencer. Watch out. The outsourcing market's brewing up a proper British storm with a pinch of tech savvy and dollop of global reach, blending their expertise with cutting edge technology for a triumphant performance. Yeah, that is one hell of a sentence, Spencer. It's very it's motivated me. Michael, guten Morgen. Will the role of the agent not become more important through AI assisted tools? Their interactions will become more individual, longer, and personal. Yeah, it's a really interesting comment, Michael, and one that I think the key is, from what you are all saying, it is about adaptability, right? It is, how are we going to adapt over this period? Please do keep your comments coming in. We will pick them up and share them in the newsletter, and also I will shout them out here as well. I just want to take a moment to thank, I'm not sure if he's with us today, but I think he's on holiday, Mark Conway and everyone at CCP. I put a post out a few weeks ago about companies that might want to offer up like £100, £200 for funding competitions in the team leader community. And CCP, formerly Contact Center Partners, the global customer service, customer experience talent specialists, and Mark were the first in to say, yeah, we'll fund it. So we have a competition running in the team leader community that's engendered a lot of interest and a lot of engagement. And that is thanks to CCP. So thank you very much. Now, I think, and Danny, I'm sure you'll agree with me, we are overdue a VT. Want that hunger to survive, just to ride the grind, to take it the way you gotta take it and never stop. I came to win, yeah, I came to win. I came to win, yeah, I came to win. So, I've mentioned this before. Lovely Neris, the legend that is Neris, all things contact centers. I will be just sat alongside her in awe, probably, and we're going to be stewarded by Nick. It's a great topic. It is Unlock the Power of Agent Engagement and Empowerment. That's the 30th of April. Now, if the topic alone wasn't interesting enough, and the fact that Neris is going to be there, I have been told from the lovely Katie at OneCom, if you register and you stay for the webinar and interact, that they will be giving away two £50 Amazon vouchers at random to the participants. So a lovely little bonus there for what we hope will be a really interesting webinar. It's going to be live, so anything can happen. I am very much reliant on Neris and Nick to keep me in check. I'm just going to nod and say what Neris said. No, it should be great. It's a subject I'm very passionate about. I'm hoping either Neris or Katie, you can put on the link, because my face is over it, and there's no way you are going to be able to remember all of those numbers. Yeah, Mark is on holiday. Good, I thought so. Good old Mr. Conway, legend. Hi, Rich. Yes, he is, and that's not just because He is also a Tottenham fan. But we are not talking about football today, not after the weekend. Mint track. I feel like going to the gym now. Yes, go on, Danny. Um, Great topic, says Neve. Thank you very much. Yeah, please do check this out. It would be great to have as many of you there as possible, and for one of you guys to win one of the £50 Amazon vouchers. That would be awesome. Des Spencer, how about we spice things up with virtual rock, paper, and scissors showdown? Let's see if your digital fingers have what it takes to outwit the algorithms. I'm old school on rock, paper, scissors. Spencer, Def. Um, I will go with. We'll do something like that. I did it actually at the start of the team leader day that I had. Um, so yes, watch this space on that one. Thank you, mate. Yeah, let's leave football. We are not to talk about what happened at the weekend. It was a disastrous day. Now, we've had one video. We're going to have another. It's probably everyone's favorite part of the show, other than the biscuit. It's a read along. That music's a bit more gentle, Danny, isn't it? A bit more kind of get comfy in your chair and get a good book. Get yourself a cup of tea and a biscuit. So we are doing the read along, which is excuse me, Contact Babel's Decision Maker Guide. So this is contact center leaders. They were given a huge survey. Steve Morell and Contact Babel put together what has always been my go-to document to try and find out about the industry. And we are reading along. And for those of you that are bang up to date, we were just getting to the quality section, and we're on page 89 if you wanted to do it with me. Still in quality. I got a Spurs cut. Oh no, Danny, come on. I have had a weekend of abuse. Um, Stretch track. Yeah, that one's to stretch out. Danny Wareham. Now Michael is also a Spurs fan, so he feels my pain. I don't just associate with Spurs fans. There's far too many Arsenal fans in my life. So first one, we are at. And let me just move. Can I move myself? Here we go. So, what are the challenges to managing performance and quality? And you can see there that the green is there's little or no problem. Yellow is there is a minor problem, and red is there is a major problem. Um, Talking of major problems, Spencer, did you catch that match against Newcastle with the players auditioning for a nap instead of playing? It's like watching a snooze fest. It was heartbreaking, to be honest. Now going back to this, 2 times 50 voucher is not a 250 voucher, as a translation stated. I'll do the link. Neris, this is what you're great at. So if you wanted to do this and get 2 times 50 Amazon vouchers, that is the link. It's free to register. It would be great to just all of us go in there mob handed. Let's just take over. Mark, all good to be here. Coming to you from Newcastle. Can we talk about the weekend for the fourth time? No, to get it. Oh, a bad day. So, thank you, Mark, for popping in with that. Now let's get back to things that we understand, because I didn't understand what happened at the weekend. So, this is what are the problems managing performance and quality, and you can see that the most popular from the decision makers that were surveyed is it's a major problem in 42% of the respondents that answered. They don't have enough time or resources to coach and train, followed by they don't have enough time to analyze data. Then staff do not have the skills to analyze data. And finally, technology doesn't support QA and performance management. Um, Very, very interesting. I always love when lack of time is cited as a reason, says Danny. It's a fallacy. We all get the same time. What you really mean is something else was more important. Spot on, sir. Spot on. Did you all know that 75% of poor interactions are not down to the agent? It's process or tools or internal info, says Michael. Sehr good. Danke schön, Michael. Not enough time, says Pete. All too often, it's the comfort of doing what is known, admin, over taking a risk of upsetting someone with a coaching conversation. So true. I think, those kind of, we need those kind of candid conversations are needed, aren't they? Where we say, look, you're just avoiding doing coaching. Tell me why you don't feel comfortable coaching. And let's address that because, as you and Danny have said, whenever I see not enough time to analyze data, not enough time or resources to coach and train, well, you need to stop and figure out what's going wrong. Because as Danny says, you've got the right time, you've got time. Something is stopping you doing it. Now, it may be that you're dealing with something that is short term, right? It also reinforces performance management as a last ditch negative process. So true. We need to normalize performance management, don't we, Pete? That kind of, if someone says, I want to talk to you about your performance, you shouldn't be fearful because it's a regular thing that happens often, and you see the benefits of having your performance managed or supported. And I think we've talked about this before. Maybe it's a terminology. Performance support might be better terminology. Aman agrees. I agree. The lack of process support impacts the results because this just feels like not an excuse, but that it's the kind of, well, yeah, we don't do it because we don't have time. Are you trying to figure out how you can do it? How can you help manage performance and quality? What's more important than that? Rich says positive performance management. Yeah, I love it. Aman says RBS committed to coaching from top down, which worked in turning around the bad press they had. Oh, that's great. Love that. Uh, I see a lot of cultural drivers that result in avoidance behaviors. I'll not do the analysis in case it looks like it's our fault, for example. Yeah, that's an avoidance behavior. It's very, very true. Very true. Or you spend your time analyzing it. It looks like it. Does that then, though, Danny, mean that there's a bit of a blame culture going on there? Peter says the need to develop our operational leaders to be effective communicators and build a culture that delivers safety to have these discussions has never been greater. And does that coincide, Pete, with the rise of the machines, the rise of AI that are, it's putting more onus on us to have very rich, deep conversations with our team around coaching, because this is to the point that was raised earlier about we've got to really show up the human side of the operation, the human side of contact centers, whilst being supported by great technology. Make a part of the daily system, celebrate development, drive personal accountability, says Rich. Focus on the person and grow your people, your service, and your brand. Very true. Spencer, in the dynamic landscape of call center operations, how do you effectively optimize performance metrics while concurrently upholding stringent quality standards to ensure a seamless customer experience? There is something on that in a second, actually, Spencer. AI can be a good assistant, says Michael, answering Spencer. Now, they also said, let me change the view here. So here are some of the key challenges as well, key issues. So, what are some of the key issues? Operations driving their performance and quality forward often carry out many of the same types of improvement. So they're changing QA assessment frameworks. They are giving advisors the freedom to do what is needed to meet the customer needs. Danny, I'm honing on you here. Creating a cultural change supported by a new and coaching development framework. For example, how the evaluation process is used for performance management and enabling the advisors to make suggestions for improvement. So, from the responses, they pulled out what they thought were um, great ways to focus on the improvement, linking quality into wider continuous improvement framework, gaining insight about the drivers for customer satisfaction and loyalty, which can be shared throughout the organization in a quality focused voice of the customer program. Now, Peter, I know you must have a view on that as well. Do you look at those 4 bullet points and say, yeah, they're pretty good, you just need to start delivering them? Aman says the more this becomes the norm, the less uncomfortable it is. Very true on performance management. Could be blame, but could be a lack of capability combined with an environment that doesn't let you put your head above the parapet. If I look bad, the tribe will reject me. Those social belonging needs often result in individuals showing behaviors that aren't really theirs. Lovely, Danny, lovely. I love that. So, Pete, absolutely. We've made interactions more complex, reduced time available for people to take a breather, and left nothing but complex and emotional interactions. AI can help it, or it can build pressure faster than ever before. Wow. Yeah, it's true. For me, it's interesting, says Danny, that none of those recommendations have any ownership. None of them say, I must do X. They're all apportioning responsibility elsewhere. Very true. Now, the next bit I also wanted to share is there are also some clear critical success factors. Organizations need to distinguish compliance from customer satisfaction. Adherence to process and risk management are vital in most industry sectors, but don't necessarily drive customer satisfaction. So there has to be a balance that doesn't impact the customer negatively. Organizations have to put the customer first. Learning from customer feedback mechanisms is essential to driving success. There has to be a strategic use of quality. Aligning QA to strategic goals is extremely important. If businesses are measuring something that doesn't impact upon their strategic aims, then it's a pointless exercise that takes focus away from what's really important. Now, Peter, me and you used to bang this drum a lot. You know, certainly that 3rd bullet point. What are you seeing out there? Is this something that really progressive, successful companies are doing? Um, Danny loves the first point. Um, Spencer, are we missing out on valuable insights by not tapping into the expertise of individuals with disabilities for data analysis? As I navigate through interactions with high street banks and the NHS, the scattered nature of data raises questions. Could the call center's lackluster quality and performance be attributed to this data dilemma? I think it's a key consideration that there's a demographic that we need to do better with, for sure, Spencer, and you're doing a lot to help that. Peter, this reads like more of the same, unfortunately. Big lack of customer and employee development. Writing down what we should do, this is great, but you've actually got to do it. Very true. Um, Interesting, Danny. I think that building positive team spirit and camaraderie is a huge driver in bolstering positive outcomes. And I agree with you, Neve. Team spirit and camaraderie, the esprit de corps, was a huge factor in me enjoying being in this industry. Neris says when the bots are doing QM for 100% of interactions and summarizing improvement pointers, the human role will no longer be the boring job of carrying out scorecard tick box. It will all be about focused coaching. So true. I with Chris, and I don't know if Chris is on, I had a demo of Evaluagent's new Evaluagent CX. And it definitely takes the donkey work out and allows you to come up with really meaningful feedback and lends itself to great coaching. We need to focus, I think, training people to be better coaches, for sure. Now we have time for just one more. Now, this is the extent to which we're getting into analytics here, interactive analytics. Now, the chart here shows the difference in usefulness of call recording for QA when it is used in conjunction with analytics. So those using analytics, they find doing QA and the call recording and everything associated with QA very useful. If you're not using analytics, it's call recording and the systems that come with QA are seen as a challenge. So 23% said it's very useful. Let me just read you this bit. It is likely that the major change to quality management in contact centers will come from the continued growth in the use of analytics, which allows organizations to take 100% of calls and interactions into account within the quality process. This quickly identifies the outliers, both good and bad, as well as being able to provide analysis of all of an agent's calls so as to assess them more accurately. Maybe support would have been a better word there. Currently, analytics is a useful tool for identifying where to look, but often still require the knowledge and experience of quality management professionals. The chart shows the difference in usefulness of call recording for QA when it is used in conjunction with analytics. Peter, QA is getting more attention via the medium of big data analytics. Love it. More analytics driven coaching, knowledge management, emotion management, but content, context, learning agility, empathy, none of these are replaced by tech. We need to support people with coaching and development, not training on how to use the tech. So true. We provide a prompted bot to play the role of a customer, which is used to train new agents. Thank you, Michael. Danny, we could have a huge conversation on that, Neve. Judge, engagement and culture isn't really about positivity and fun. Some cultures benefit from silos, opaqueness. Is that the right way of saying it? And little teamness. It's more about finding the culture that nurtures and encourages the behaviors that then support your strategy. Hopefully that's fun too, but it's not the main motive. Very, very interesting. I've got two other slides. I am conscious of time and I'm going to keep them back for next week. The show will be on again next week. I won't be leaving you hanging. Quick VT again. I love that little video of Hugo. So he is the boss. And can you now have a quick vote? Whose comment that you've read in all of our discussions do you think should be highlighted in the newsletter as comment of the week? If I actually start to make any money from doing this nonsense, maybe there'll be a prize attached to it in the future, or maybe it's just one of these. Let's do that. I've got a couple. I will give one of these away to whoever you decide has come up with a comment that you think deserves to be, or that you've just enjoyed, that it's taught you something. Who has this week's comment of the week? And there's been a lot, so thank you very, very much. But you can just, if you can, just now comment in the comments. It can be about a biscuit. It can be about anything that we've discussed. But who do you think can get the comment of the week this week? Whose comment has made you go, yeah, that's, or just prompted some thought? It can't. Can I just say, I would like to exclude the Michael and your Newcastle one. That is not included in this competition. I'm joking, of course. So it has. No, Danny. Peter, says Luke. Danny, says Shiv. Aman says Peter. So we've got 2 for Peter so far. I will give. Here we go. This one. Ask me how QA can create the need to develop our operational leaders. So we have it's the strong drum rolls. Spencer is voting for himself. I haven't really thought about the rules other than Danny's one is null and void because it was about Tottenham. What you mean the cup one? I've heard loads of jokes. Um, Peter says, Scott, okay, let's call this. So it is Peter, your comment, and Aman, just to confirm, it's this one. Yeah. The need to develop our operational leaders to be effective communicators and build a culture that delivers safety to have those discussions has never been greater. Um, yeah, Peter, you've run away with it. Although Neve, you have said Neris is one. Yeah, that's a lovely one as well. As always, it is a pleasure. It is the highlight of my week to spend time with you all. I'm in awe of your knowledge and commitment and your passion for our industry. If only the outside world could see this and start to amend their perception of us. That's our mission, right? That is our mission. Uh, Peter, Spencer is promising you a new Ferrari. Spencer is on one today. So, Peter, enjoy the Ferrari. Um, oh, really? Spurs have announced they're relaying the pitch at Tottenham with sheets of A4. Apparently, they can beat anyone on paper. Yeah, it's a classic. It's one I have heard amongst many this week. I nearly deleted WhatsApp. I was getting so much. So thank you all very much. I've loved it. I've loved being here chatting to you. As always, please do join me next Tuesday. Tuesday. What's up, my brother? Special people, special places. You'll have to figure out what that is. It's my current obsession. But thank you all very much. Have a wonderful rest of the week. Sorry about being tongue tied today. I will see you soon. Oh, join the webinar. Join the webinar.